Alright guys, so today we got a new update within Fortnite, and a bunch of stuff did happen to the game, but within this video, I want to talk about some of the leaks that we actually got within this update that's going to be hinting at some big changes coming to Dusty Divot very soon. But before we talk about that, let me just highlight a bunch of the important things that are happening with this update first. So just like we expected in yesterday's video, the bananas, the peppers, and the coconuts are pretty much just going to give you health and shields. So it's what we thought it was, nothing too crazy, nothing too special, but it adds a bit more variety to the game itself, so it's a pretty cool addition, and again fits with the theme of season 8. Obviously we do know the floor is lava LTM, which is a pretty sick LTM, is out now, so that's going to be pretty cool. They've wanted to release this LTM. Donald Mustard said for such a long time that it was one of the first LTMs they wanted to release, and now they're finally releasing it, so it's pretty cool. We have the Lava Legends pack that's going to be coming very soon as well. That's a pretty sick pack. These skins, back blings, and all the stuff that comes with it, definitely really cool, and has just really fierce, menacing feel to it. Next thing here is actually not really in the update, but it's a leak from the update, and we're probably going to be talking about this in a separate video, but it's a new explosive bow coming to the game very soon, and it's going to be probably in a week or two within the next content update, probably in 2 weeks. It's going to be pretty sick to see if it's actually something that's viable within the game, and it's not just an item that's used as a novelty and as a gimmick. And you know, sometimes you sort of want something that you can switch to that is actually decent, and this is probably gonna be something where you can use to take down bases and stuff like that, not necessarily actually going for kills. And maybe you do get a sick shot with the explosive arrow, and it's probably gonna be pretty satisfying, but we'll see when that releases. The last thing here is 2 new blocks within the game. They're both pretty sick, obviously, for creating your maps and whatever you guys want to do. They're pretty cool for that, and that's pretty much it. So let's go through here the main thing that we're going to be talking about within this video. It's all about Dusty Divot. So I made a video a couple of weeks ago talking about Dusty Divot potential, well, Dusty Depot, I should say, potentially returning to the game, different reasons as to why it may happen, different theories, and also some evidence from the game and from the leaked files as to why we may sort of revert back to that original state where it was just Dusty Depot without the huge divot, without the hole, without all of the changes that we've seen for the past couple of seasons. And now we may actually, you know, begin to get towards that point. So this video isn't necessarily about Dusty Depot returning, but it's definitely a good sign as to how we can get to that point. So what's going to be happening here? Well, here's what we see from the leaks. A bunch of leaks here, all pointing at some big changes to Dusty Divot. And as you see within the thumbnail and the title, it has to do with lava, so it's gonna be pretty sick. So 2 new HLODs for the lab point of interest. It looks like Dusty Divot. Obviously Dusty Divot has that lab, and it has something to do with the Dopey event. So we're gonna be talking about that in a second. Let me show you guys the other tweet here from Lucas. He's a leaker, obviously. He's saying wait, Divot might flood with lava or stay lava, or you know, be filled with lava after this event. You have no idea, or he has no idea, that there's new lab files for Dusty Divot. So if you guys, I should have probably started with this, but you know, we're gonna just start with that there because I wanted to show you guys that there are new files for the labs found within Dusty Divot, and why that may be happening is because of this Dopey event. So here is the Dopey event, and the reason why there is not much on this, like I can show you guys the code, but it really means nothing. You know, dirt shell and this Dopey flat, there's all like random lines of code. I really don't know what any of that means. But another thing here, he's pretty much saying, and from the leaks, it apparently correlates to lava. So it's some sort of lava event, and there are other hidden leaks that are probably going to give us more information as to what exactly this Dopey event is all about, but apparently it's related to lava. And since we're seeing these lines of code and these different files change within the Dusty Divot location, that obviously means that it's going to be some sort of lava event happening or occurring within Dusty Divot. Here is a map that's, you know, it's just drawn up. Obviously this is an official map because it's just our red line coming through, but theoretically, if this event is going to happen, and it's going to be some sort of lava event affecting Dusty Divot, it's pretty much going to be like this flow of lava that's coming from the volcano continues away from its end point, and just expands through past these buildings, or maybe through the buildings, wiping out the buildings, we're not so sure yet, and then filling up the divot. I mean, really, it does make sense, and even if we didn't have the leaks right now to back it up, it wouldn't seem out of the question for this to happen. So now that we do have the leaks, I do think this is very possible, and there's going to be some sort of huge event, and I think we should have known that the divot was going to be filled up eventually. I originally thought, and a bunch of people thought, it was going to be filled up by water, because we thought at the end of Season 7, there would be some sort of huge tsunami event that would fill it up with water, or maybe with the ice biome, like it would fill up with ice or something, and just all different possibilities. But now with this lava event that's actually within the code and actually relates to new files being found within the divot, that's probably going to happen. The lava is going to affect the divot in some sort of way, whether or not it's going to just start by flowing in and then it'll slowly fill it up, and then obviously lava turns into sort of this rock and it's going to fill up and harden, and then it'll just completely harden over Dusty Divot, and then everything below there will be gone pretty much. And then obviously later on, if you want to say maybe it'll go back to the depot, the depot will just be built right over the, you know, the hardened rock from the lava. That's a whole nother theory. That's not in the code, but I'm saying that's probably gonna be the end of this whole sort of huge slow change to the Dusty Divot. But let's get back to the code right now. Let's get back to what's actually in the game. So Lucas says again, Dopey has dirt files. Something's gonna happen to the divot finally. So again, here is a bunch of the stuff we see within the code relating to the Dopey event and these dirt files. Now, I mean, a lot of these images, obviously you guys could tell it's directly related towards Dusty Divot, but it's really hard to make out what exactly is going on here. We do know that parts of these, you know, file images here that are, you know, made up for the code, like they do look like they're, you know, making some change to the divot. It's hard to make out what exactly that is, but it definitely looks like there's going to be some change. So we do know change is coming. We just don't know how exactly it's going to look within the game. But obviously, based on the stuff we see here, based on the other code for this lava event, which is called Dopey for some reason, and you know, everything we've seen so far, we do know something is going to happen. We just don't know what's going to happen and to what extent it's going to occur. So I do think, again, I'm not going to go into Season 9 because this doesn't necessarily, you know, well, I mean, we don't really know what Season 9 is about. So I don't want to go and say like, oh, this is the beginning of the lead up to Season 9, because I think that's probably not the case. This is probably just one of these really small events, but it may be the beginning of something larger. Like we really don't know yet. I think it could very well be something where they take their time, they start off slow, similar to the earthquake event where that lasted for pretty much like a month or over a month maybe, where, you know, you had the first earthquake and then you had every day a couple different tremors, and then you started seeing cracks, and the cracks were just coming everywhere, and then you started seeing these different bridges collapse, and then you had the Tilted Towers building collapse. And then obviously at the end you had the whole volcano and the whole map change. But this here, this could be the lava, the flow of the lava from the volcano slowly starts to creep down towards Dusty Divot. It slowly takes over some of the buildings that are there, the diner. It flows down into the divot, you know, fills into the different craters and stuff, starts to burn down the trees. Like, this is all stuff that's very, you know, viable within the game. And there, you know, the reason why we have new files for the lab changing is because, you know, maybe they're building up protection to protect against the lava flowing, and then as the lava flows, it's going to destroy parts of the lab, changing the way it looks. That's just a reason why they have these new files here. So there's so many different possibilities as to how this could pan out for the game. And again, my, you know, not really dream, because it's just based off of nostalgia, but I think what would be sick again, and now we have some sort of evidence, we have something to base this off of. A good way to get Dusty Depot back if there was any way, now we have a way. This lava event could be the beginning of getting Dusty Depot back, if in fact this lava event is like a really big event. If it's just a small event, most likely the lava isn't going to completely fill up the divot. That would be a pretty large event. I think that's a pretty big deal. So if it's just a small event, the lava is not going to fill up the divot. It's not going to completely harden over, and there would be no reason to bring back Dusty Depot. But if it's a huge event and there's just tons of lava flowing and it all flows in, destroys pretty much everything, destroys Dusty Divot as we know it, just everything there, the diner, the labs, everything is gone. And then for some reason they rebuilt over what it was before, so it may not exactly look like Dusty Depot, but it'll just have sort of this magma rock below it, but it'll just have that same depot, those three buildings that we had before, and that would be that. So I don't know, that would be sick, but the evidence right now, it doesn't lead towards that, but it's definitely a good starting point. So here anyway, the main point of this video is that it looks like there's going to be some changes coming to Dusty Depot, or Dusty Divot, very soon in the form of this lava event. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Comment below lava if you watched the whole video. It's greatly appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.